And we are live. What's going on, Bills Mafia? This is Epic B.
This is Tampa Neal.
I want to go ahead and start the show off tonight with just a little tribute to our man, Rick Jeanneret. Our hearts go out to, their family.
This man going in on goal. He shoots. He throws. Wins it in overtime. The Sabres bomb out onto the ice to Bob Brad Bay. Here's May going in on goal. He shoots.
There we go. Lost the legend.
Chills, man.
And I guess that's life. So that's a shout out to him. Hearts go out to him and his family. This is Breaking Tables. Let's go ahead and get the show started.
Yeah. Don Brown. Bills Mafia. Yeah. You find us, we breaking the tables, we tailgating, breaking them tables. You know the mafia dangerous, you see us, we breaking the tables. We breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them, breaking them. You find us, we breaking the tables, we tailgating, breaking them tables. You know the mafia dangerous, you see us, we breaking the tables. We breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them, breaking them. You know the mafia dangerous. Put a hit out on your favorite team.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
Shooting the bomb, mafia mine. Please don't step on my shoes. Game day ones, the white, the red, the blues. Hey man, breaking tables is traditional. Wishing the fish, look at my drip. Never cheating like Belichick is. Sean McDermott never telling the biz. Deion Dawkins missing bomb, we got Mitch. Gabe Davis toe tapping to this. Who making anthems that slapping like this? Nobody getting the traction like this. You find us, we breaking the tables, we tailgating, breaking them tables. You know the mafia dangerous, you see us, we breaking the tables. We breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them tables, we breaking them. The podcast breaking tables, you see us, we breaking them tables. Neil and Brian is breaking the tables. The mafia, baby, you know that we dangerous. Everybody know. Don Brown.
Get the tables.
Yes, that is correct. I know. We're back. It's Monday night. This is Breaking Tables. Epic B over here. Tampa Neal over there. Over there. I think somewhere over there. Somewhere over
Right
there. Oh, I got you, Neil. You gotta do like a little trick, right? I go like this, and like another hand comes in and slaps you in the face. Oh, that's weird. All right, guys. Before we get started, we started off the show with Rick Jeanneret Tribune. Shout out to the family. Our hearts go out with you guys. Living legend, another legend lost.
Dude, true legend, man. That video that we just played, that's just one of many of his amazing calls. Every time I hear that video, it just gives me chills. It's like one of the greatest calls ever in sports.
You remember growing up listening to him? It's like, man, this guy's got full of energy. I want to be like him when I'm my age and create a podcast.
I know, right?
Well, anyways, before we get into the get down with our normal Monday night banter, obviously this horrendous game that we saw, there was optimism from the last weekend, and that had been on Wednesday night when I traveled made my way up to Tampa to hang out with the crew from Duff's Famous Wings at the Gen X Tavern. Tampa Neal, a lot of fun, my man.
Absolutely, it was a lot of fun. I got pretty drunk.
We got pretty sauced. Newsflash, spoiler alert.
It was a fun show. It was a fun event to be part of. We're glad everybody was able to come on and join us. Yeah,
and for the people that were complaining about, oh, it's false advertisement. I mean, folks, you're not the only people that travel to this location. I mean, the line was out the door before they even opened up. Okay. So don't get upset. These guys, you know, they were working very hard and diligently to just maintain. And I think we talked about it. We're just kind of joking about it. Like, I don't think that's enough wings. Guess what? It wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. They ran out.
They ran out of wings day one. They ran out of Labatt's day one. Nothing to be upset about because, I mean, we drank probably majority of them when we were there.
Yeah.
We ran into some old friends. We ran into Tampa backers, Casey, Kyle, those guys, Scully out there. I thought it was awesome.
Kate was there with her new kid. I'm going to get her to put that kid through a table. I'll tell you that.
It's only like what? How many months is that now, Neil?
He's like 3 months old.
All right, give it another month. They'll be good to go. It was funny because one of the backers presidents, Casey Hoover, who actually won the signed. If anybody was watching the show on Wednesday, he won the signed Gabe Davis little photo with. We were trying to think of something cool. Like, what can we do? Well, let's get people to tell us a joke. Let's get people. And Neil's like, they must pound a beer through the glass, through the bottle. I was like, well, I don't think it's gonna be difficult, Neil, until he showed us a way by melting straws and, you know, almost burning the place down.
Dude, when I rewatched the video and saw that, I was laughing my ass. I'm like, oh, I forgot that I did that.
Until so Casey won it. And it was funny because after the show, I was like, all right, Casey, now my turn. Come on, me and you do it. And mind you, I'm not the tallest guy. I'm like, what, 5'6", 5'7" on a ladder. Casey's probably like 6'5". So he sits down. He's like, let me get to your level, you know, talking trash already because he won a Gabe Davis signed photo album. And I'm like, well, when I win, I'm taking that photo album back from you. And all his friends started laughing, but I destroyed him. It wasn't even close. Like after like he finally thought he won, put the beer down, and I'm already like celebrating, and his friends are going, what? I'm like, yeah. Don't call me. They
don't call you Epic Beef for nothing.
But it was a good time. It was a good time. Met a lot of good people. We have built a lot of strong connections. Shout out to Joe Duff for coming down. Shout out to the Gen X, the managers. We met a silent owner later on that evening. Introduced him to Jameson Orange. Tampa Neal got invited to this place called the Tampa Club, whatever that is, by some guy with some weird brooch on his whatever. But that's another story. But here we are live back again, going into Saturday with some good feelings, Neil. And then we just fucking, I don't know. If you could sum up one word, and you can't swear, if you could sum up Saturday's performance in one word, what would it be, Neil?
Ugh.
That's actually a good one. I was going to be like,
that was 2 words.
No, it was one. Vomit.
This is a run-on sentence.
There I am talking in cursive again. So it wasn't a pretty match, but you know, everybody, the name of the show is the Bills Trust Fall. You know that, you know, you ever see those movies or you ever see like the business, you know, get-togethers where you got one guy standing on a chair and they have to like get your team involved, and he's got to trust that your team has your back, and they fall back, and you know, normally you're supposed to catch them. Well, I think the Bills did that on Saturday, and the person falling fell right to the floor. Might as well just put a table on there. That'd be a fun trust fall, right? Oh, we got to do that one.
We'll have to do that once, yes.
We're going to do that once.
Before we get into the game.
Okay.
Let's talk about our sponsor real quick.
Go ahead, Neil. Nope.
All right. Got it. Well, you know, this show is brought to you by Janet Gosh, Realtor, a realtor right here in the Tampa Bay area. If you are looking for a home or selling a home, please give her a call. She is also offering a $100 gift card that you can use at either Straight Out of Buffalo or Levique Tours and Rentals. So if you buying or selling a home, make sure you give her a call. Her number is 716-861-9580. That's how you know she's an authentic Buffalonian. She still has that 716 number. So
even if you're not a Bills fan, give her a call just to get a house. Everybody's looking for a house. Everybody's moving to Florida. Nobody wants to live anywhere else. I mean, I'm sure that if you're living in California right now, you want to get away from the hurricane and come on to Florida.
Or the earthquake.
Or the earthquake at the same time. The west side of Florida, they're not as prone to hurricanes as they are in the east side, like South Florida. We are here. So that's a good spot. Janet Gosh, a realtor, 716-861-9580. So trust fall, Tampa Neal, trust fall. Okay. This is all about trust. Before we talk about this game, one thing I don't trust, Stephen A. Smith.
All right. We're going to go there early. All right. I like it.
Yeah, we're going to go there early. Let's get the current
I got a picture of this clown. This clown right here is an NBA analyst. An NBA analyst pretending that he knows shit about the NFL.
He's just a clown, period. You should have let me touch it up Photoshop and clown makeup.
Shoe guy. Stick to the NBA. Your sources in the NFL are not that good. Diggs came out pretty close to immediate and was like, well, let's been through this before.
Why don't we just start by saying what the hell this, I almost dropped an inappropriate word, what this piece of said. Oh, where's my little bleep noise? What this piece of said, Neil, what did he say?
Well, he came out and said that his sources have told him that Stefon Diggs is tired of the Bills organization and wants to get out.
Not true. Not true at all. Stephen A. Smith, guess what you do? You suck. Thank you, folks.
Shortly afterwards, Diggs took to social media and said, 100% not true. I don't know who the source is, but I thought I nipped this shit in the bud. Then he follows it up shortly afterwards, rocking with my dogs, Bills Mafia through and through. Stephen A. Smith, fuck off.
That's almost borderline defamation, actually, because he put it in words, right? It's libel. I'm no lawyer or anything. And thank God no lawyers watch the show. But we were. Come on. Awkward as hell. Stephen A. Smith, go crawl back underneath the rock. You have no business talking about our Bills. I have a soundbite for this one.
Go stick to LeBron there, bud.
I have a soundbite for this one. Where is it?
I'm excited.
Hold on a minute. Where is it? Oh, no.
Soundbite's coming, ladies and gentlemen.
Is this one? Hey, Stephen A. Smith. Keep my Bills.
Yeah.
Out your fucking mouth.
And that's what I'm here for, folks.
Forgot about that one. That was a good one.
I got like a collection of all these epic sound bites. I can't wait to use. I'm gonna use it once, and then it never comes up again. When am I ever gonna use that one again? Well, right there, Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith. Guess what?
Keep my
Bills
name out your fucking mouth.
Thank you. You tell him. Will.
Tell him, Will.
Bill's name out of your mouth. But back to the show. This episode is known as the Bills Trust Fall. We got to be able to trust. There's one or two Bills fans. There's one of two types of Bills fans. There's one that is, it's just a preseason game. Who cares? Move on. At the end of the day, it's preseason. It's like Allen Iverson practice. We talking about practice, okay? And there's side B on the flip side of the coin, where it's like, well, no, I am troubled by what we saw. I'm troubled by all this talk, especially with McDermott taking over the defense. McDermott, how much control he has over the team, and it's usually the same excuse over and over again. So Tampa Neal, if you had to choose one side of the coin, which side of the coin would you choose?
Well, my coin's kind of teetering a little bit because I looked at that game as it was just a preseason game, and penalties made me a little pissed. That's one thing I could honestly say. The penalties pissed me off a lot, but it is a preseason game as far as the plays are concerned, even that 64-yard play, that was a play that if it was a regular season game, the Bills would have like planned for it, something like that. They weren't in scheme. They weren't game planning for it. They weren't game planning for the game at all. They're out there running plays to make sure that their players know what the hell the plays are and can get themselves in place. So plays like that are going to happen when you've got emotion like Pittsburgh did. Motions don't normally happen in the preseason, but they did. And, they got crossed and Micah Hyde went one way and they ended up all shifting to the right. And I don't know what the other guy, his name went to the left and there was no one there. It was a complete mismatch.
Talk about the defense. That was Dodson. That looked like he did not belong on the field.
Well, they all ended up shifting to the right. Like linebacker.
Dodson. Dodson was almost tripped over his own feet going to the left.
Well, Ed Oliver fell over and knocked Puna Ford on top of him too. Like they just kind of fell over each other in that play. They weren't ready for a play like that in that game. Not gonna make excuses, but that's game planning, and they're not game planning for preseason games. They're not.
They're just looking for plays. So which side of the call? You're that guy that flips a coin and it somehow lands perfectly straight up.
You're
that side.
So not completely, because I'm more of the it's preseason. But good gracious, pre-snap penalties. I don't give a shit what game it is. That is just unacceptable.
I'm going to have to go with you to a point because I'm like you. There's three sides to a coin. There's the heads, the tails, and if it stands straight up, which is very rare, but you never know. All right, you could teeter on each or other side. McDermott is known to have a disciplined team. Well, there's no excuses. We had 12 penalties, game one. Okay, we won. All right, no starters. Okay, it's preseason. But game two, we had 12 penalties in the first half with starters. Brutal. So what does that translate to me as a blue-collar, just Joe Blow watching the game from my armchair, rolling chair TV? Not much. I don't know what to call it. Maybe, at the end of the day, okay, other side of it, don't forget last year we lost 21-0 to Carolina in the preseason. Look what happened to us and look what happened in North Carolina. It's preseason, folks.
It is preseason.
At the end of the day, no starters got injured. I hope, speedy recovery for Doyle.
Yeah,
it sucks. He was looking forward to at least making the roster, and I don't see him probably playing again because not his right knee or right leg that got hurt from last year. It was his left leg. And if you saw that play, like I am hurt watching that play again. Yeah, Martin, they played like he didn't care because they probably played like it was preseason.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Which, to a point, maybe they're more focused on game one of a regular season game against the Jets on a Monday Night Football on the big stage. I don't know. That is going to... Now, if they go out there and shit the bed Monday night, it's going to translate and people are going to be starting calling rolling heads. Right, Neil?
And Stephen A. Smith's going to talk shit about people who want to be traded too.
Stephen A. Smith might come out and be like, Josh Allen wants to be traded.
Josh Allen wants out too.
Josh Allen, everybody wants out. Stephen A. Smith said that they're not going to build a stadium anymore because Stephen A. Smith can go, suck it. Hey, Stephen, you suck. You tell him.
You suck.
So here we are, preseason 2 against the Steelers, who looked on fire. Bad penalties. I mean, yeah, there were some very obvious penalties on our side. Then again, I'm gonna be a straight up fan of sports. I'm not gonna be biased of the Bills or whoever we're playing, but man, these referees sucked. These referees were absolute garbage. So if they found anybody that was like, hey, you look like take that Steelers jersey off. All right, take the Steelers jersey off and come referee. All you got to do is call holding or pass interference. That's it.
Yeah, the block in the back on Spencer Brown was an absolutely horrible call. But he also had he did not do well.
But in retrospect, they didn't call the block and the blatant block in the backs on that first kick return where the guy ran it back up to the 20-yard line after Sam Martin's monstrous punt.
Man, that was one thing that was funny about that it almost got comical about how many things were just going wrong for the Bills. They had a fucking partially blocked punt.
Yeah.
It was almost like when that happened, I'm like, this is pretty much at this point just laughable. Like when everything goes bad, it goes bad. And it did.
All right. Well, okay. Who do you not trust the most out of any position group of the Bills?
Well, position
by
group
watching that game.
Player.
Give me a position group that you do not you trust the least out of any other positions on the Bills roster.
Tackle right now.
So offensive line. That's the position.
Just tackle.
Tackle.
I'm talking
offensive
about
or
guys in the
defensive?
ends. Offensive tackle. Right now, injuries just beat that position up. We had a guy retire. Spencer Brown looks like crap. Dion
Dawkins didn't look any better
either.
So that entire offensive line, you do not trust.
Nope, just the ends.
I'm
just
with
tackles.
you. I'd rather trust Casey Anthony to babysit your kids versus watching that offensive line, knowing that they're going to protect Josh Allen.
Osiris looked good still. Just saying.
Outside of Osiris. Osiris.
Mitch looked good too.
Osiris, I'm gonna make this. This is my hot take right now. Watching him 2 games, he's going to start week 1.
I agree.
There's no way you can not start him because he's been playing intact. Just like that right guard position hasn't been moving. It's the blind side that worries me. Actually, every other position outside of that. But maybe Cromer might do something different this time. Maybe Dion Dawkins might go to left guard and we start not McGovern, but Vandermark. Because Vandermark looked pretty good in that left tackle position.
Me.
No?
That would scare me. I mean,
that's why I'm not a coach, Neil.
He may look good against a 4-stringer, but against top people, no, I'm good. Allen might die if that happens.
Well, I honestly don't think Dion Dawkins looked good all last year. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
I don't think he looked that great last year either. He had no guard help. Now he's got guard help. There's no excuses. Connor McGovern needs to play a little better, that's for sure, next to him, because he did not look good.
I mean, granted, the Steelers, you have Watt. They have a solid defensive scheme, but it's the same mentality. Their coach has the same mentality as our coach, McDermott. Hell, they went to school together. If you're watching part of the games, they mentioned it probably 20 times. That Steelers coach and McDermott went to school together.
I mean, Pittsburgh got embarrassed by Buffalo last year, so I know that they were out for a little bit of blood at their only home game that they had. So there was blood on Tomlin's mind. He was like, "I'm going to whoop his ass a little bit."
Good job, guys. Way to kick our ass on in preseason game.
Yeah,
but that just also translate to the type of teams that we have. That translates to the type of depth that we have. We've always preached about on paper, we've got a solid team. Well, on paper, you don't have a solid team if you don't have the depth to back you up. Because I 100% guarantee everybody's not going to start all 16 games this year. 100% guarantee it. Someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get sick. Something's going to happen. Never in my life of watching NFL has that happened. Correct me. I could be wrong. Somebody can in the comment section can go ahead and say, "Oh, you're wrong." Back in 1996, this one time, they only played 12 games. But yeah, okay, I'm sure that happened, but not 16 games of the year. Long season, folks.
Yeah, I don't think it happens. It's a injury, or it's a game where injuries happen 100% of the time. It's not even a question about it. An injury is going to happen. And if it happens on the offensive line, we're screwed. Actually, and that's the only thing about Josh Allen. I'll tell you one thing: we're not screwed because he's that fucking good that he can get out and make plays happen. But if he's going to get out, these guys gotta hold their ground. Like they can't like get a penalty call when he throws a 35-yard pass to Gabe Davis. Like, you can't do that type of stuff. Like these guys in line cannot make
Neil,
those
a
penalties.
1-yard pass, a 35-yard pass. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how far that pass goes, you
It's
still can't be
10.
doing that shit.
Yeah, it's negative yards. It pushes you back. Because the Bills were driving in their second drive. Their first drive sucked, but they were driving on their second drive, and
they were up there on their 35, and it got backed up to the opposing team 35.
It was 3rd and 30 something. I'm like, what the like? What you don't play for that? Go long, Diggs. Go long.
If that's the case, get rid of if that is the case, bench every single starter. Bench every single starter. You want to start off hot? Okay, great. If you want to start on a flunk, that's going to open up the books for possible injuries. Get them all off the bench. If you don't care because it's preseason, then get every single starter off the bench. On the bench. Just saying, Neil. I think, we don't know what goes through McDermott's head, and he runs a very tight-lipped ship.
He texts me all the time, so I know exactly what goes through his head.
Bullshit. I don't believe that. That's like
Trust
me
fall,
saying
dude. Trust fall.
You just stress fell into a table, brother. Oh my God, we're gonna be doing that. Oh, I can't wait. The first trust fall of the season. Write this down. Breaking tables. They start a new thing called the trust fall.
Into a table.
Fall into a table. No, but you got to do it where it's like it looks like everybody's gonna catch you, and then you count to 10, and they get out of the way and they put a table there. Or you can be an asshole and not put a table there, and you break your neck. I don't know.
All right.
Oh, trust fall, baby. I love how the fact that you didn't even squint when I said that I trust Casey Anthony to watch your kids over that offensive line. Oh, no.
Yeah. I don't know.
How do I respond to that?
So what is your position of concern? Position group?
I got to go and say middle linebacker, just because outside of Matt Milano, they were game planning. You could tell that the Steelers were game planning for Matt Milano, not giving a shit about whoever else was there. Maybe AJ Klein did good. I think he did enough, a lot better than what I saw from the other guys. Mm-hmm. But that just troubles me because that was kind of our staple. No, regardless of, you know what? I'm going to change my mind. Yes, middle linebacker does. I'm going to go ahead and say coaching. The coaching position for the defense really pisses me off. Number one, how many missed tackles did we have that game?
A lot.
That was way too much. And you're a coach. You're a defensive-minded coach. You no longer have Leslie Frazier. There's no more excuses. The head coach takes over defensive coordinator positions, but yet your guys can't tackle. Oh, that's going to be a very, very awkward Monday morning practice if they didn't practice on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Just because these are the absolute basics. And they look like they did not belong on that field the way that they just were tackling. You don't have to coach somebody a game plan to tackle, Neil. You don't. You don't have to get, oh God, we're playing the Steelers. We got to do this and run this guy up flat. If he does this. No, if a guy runs by you, you tackle him.
If you can get a hold of him, you should take him down. I agree with that. Do you think that our starting middle linebacker is currently on our team today?
Is what?
Is our starting middle linebacker, the guy that we are going to have running out there on the field September 11th against the Jets, is he on our team right now?
I mean, if you look at...
Or are they going to try and go and get somebody else?
If you look at the free agents out there, there's not a lot of free agents inside or outside. Honestly, I think what they have to do is get rid of that middle linebacker position in general. Keep rocking you can have, Taron Johnson in that nickel position, and you can have a weak and strong side linebacker. 2 linebackers set. Maybe if you have an extra guy, put them on the line. But I just don't see them. I don't see them having running 3 like you won't see the Bills run a perfect 4-3 all year. I just don't see it.
No, they won't. They never do. But I'm looking at the team wise itself, and I'm like, I don't think you're going to see. I think that next week when the cuts happen, you're going to see Bean out there trying to get a veteran in for that linebacker position. I think he's already talking to somebody, trying to work a trade or something like that, because somebody's going to get cut. That's a good player. Yeah, it's
going to have to be a trade. It definitely won't be somebody like you can look at. I think I Googled this, where you had to look at the available free agents right now. No one ever heard, maybe Melvin Ingram, but he's 34 years old. Outside of that, guys I've never heard of before. Kyle Van Noy, 32 years old, inside linebacker. He's a free agent.
Kyle Van Noy wouldn't be a bad pickup.
He wouldn't be bad. I mean, you might as well just, he's like a younger by like a year or 2 of AJ Klein.
Yeah.
And mind you, Van Noy got wrecked by Josh Allen.
Pummeled by Josh Allen, yes. Actually, I had dinner next to him.
Outside of that, I don't see anything else. I don't. I think if you're a defensive mind head coach, like McDermott is, that you are, you got Matt Milano, you've got your Luke Kuechly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when the Panthers, I did a little research on this. I'm not X's and O's, but I did research. Back when they did it, they never had a set defensive scheme. It was always just this freelancing thing. Have one linebacker. Fuck. Bring one guy in the back and one guy up front in line. You never know. I think if McDermott wants to do this, he can do this. It's his baby now. He needs to adapt to what we have. We don't have the money to bring anybody on board. We don't have, we have a number. We don't have the time. I mean, we're sitting 2 weeks till game 1, right, Neil?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. 2 weeks for my birthday. But anyways, that's more important than week 1.
2 weeks for my birthday too.
That's right. We do some fun for that, but it's not about us, Neil. It's about the Bills.
Obviously.
So, all right. So, I mean, yes, I am going to go say I don't have any trust with that defensive play calling, but yet we're talking about my catalyst is preseason. Week 1 it's got to make or break it.
The play calling, like I said, I'm not going to get too into the play calling for a preseason game because they're not game planning for the game. That's not their priority for a preseason game. But I think there's going to be guys that'll be cut because there's going to be guys in our team that are going to get cut that'll get picked up somewhere else because they're better than what they have on their roster. But I think that there's guys that are out there that are going to be available here in a couple weeks, and I think Bean's going to snap on them. And wouldn't be surprised if he works trades, even with our own guys.
Well, if you could name, we talk about what we don't trust. Mm-hmm. Who can you trust to babysit your kids outside of Casey Anthony?
There's a lot of guys in the team that I would trust a lot more than Casey Anthony. Actually, I think I could probably count 90 guys in that roster that I would trust more than Casey Anthony with my kids.
Oh, that's
just
crazy.
Saying. But I think there was a lot of good that came out of that game that's not becoming unnoticed because there was so much just like ugly. There's a lot of ugly things that just happened during that game.
One thing that you absolutely loved.
Gabe Davis looked fucking amazing.
So that's your one thing.
He looked ready to play. And I know exactly what yours is going to be because he's also caught a few balls too.
You can't say anything outside of Gabe Davis. So you're going to go with the Gabe Davis. That is your final answer, final thought.
100%.
So thanks for asking me my number one go-to, Dalton Kincaid.
He looked good too.
Holy God. Josh Allen wasn't even throwing to him, and he looked good.
The first pass of the game went to Kincaid.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
And there was only 10 guys on the field. There was only 10 guys in the field for that play.
I know. Wasn't that crazy? Dude, Kincaid looks, that guy is going to be an absolute stud.
Mm-hmm.
I've said it. I was excited. We were, if you watched our draft party, Travis Kelce, who?
Yeah.
And if you watch it, please refresh your memories because we were both team blackout. Sorry, we were time traveling. We time traveled to today, but Dalton Kincaid, man, he's got a pair of hands on him. He looks fluid. He looks just his routes. I mean, I don't analyze people on the routes. Oh, great. I can run a post. That just means I go towards the post, right? But just the way he does it, like he looks like a big, solid, younger Travis Kelce. And it's not just saying that to blow smoke up your ears. I'm saying that because he looks like a younger, fitter Travis Kelce.
Yep. And they're going to line up linebackers on him. And if they do that, he is going to eat all year.
And even if they do line up a bunch of linebackers, that's why Kansas City's always been good, because there's always another guy that's going to be open.
Yep.
You got Gabe Davis, you got Stephon Diggs, you got Dawson Knox, especially if you run the 12-man formation. I think that's 2 tight ends, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I saw it on a newsletter one time. I'm still trying to figure out what that means when you can only play 11 people. Whatever.
12th man.
I'm pretty sure I even said it wrong too. That's why people don't watch the show for X's and O's. They watch it for the LOLs.
Exactly.
Write that down. That's a good one. Put that as a mantra.
Well, I hear if you're still saying LOL, you're old.
So what do they say now?
I don't know. I read something on it and I forgot what it was, but they added like 3 more letters on it. And I'm like, I don't want to learn 3 more letters.
LMAFAO, ROFLMAO. Come on, man. We created that back in the AOL chat rooms.
Yeah, right. ASL.
I'll just say that ASL question mark. ROFLMAO. Pop Bradley tuning in goes, I also read Basham could be on the chopping block. Not gonna happen. They are not touching that defensive line. Every single one of those defensive, especially with Shane Ray being put on the IR as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, man, wish him a speedy recovery. Sucks that he's trying to get back into the NFL and he's already on the IR. Or
yeah, that sucks.
I don't think he had a long shot to make the team. Let's be realistic about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good story, but I mean, how the other guys are playing, especially like AJ Epinesa, who's hit or miss, but he understands the game plan. He's been here for 3-4 years consistently. I don't think Shane Ray had a chance.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think so either. I mean, I think that you're going to see somebody like Shaq Lawson get cut before Basham. I mean, have you heard Shaq Lawson's name called once?
No, he looked like he didn't want to play. I saw him a couple of times. He looked like he really wasn't really playing with oomph.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just we're talking about practice, Neil. We're talking about practice. Practice. Damn
practice. Give me a game.
Practice. So we saw one.
I'm excited of hearing the whistle. No more whistles. No more flags.
Well, just don't play in Pittsburgh again because, man, those referees were out to get them. I mean, there's a couple of them that was like what? Speaking of what? Another person I don't trust. And yes, we've had first-round draft picks who went bust. A name comes to mind. Thomas Smith, 1993, first-round draft pick, bust. Okay. You know who he reminds me of? Kyer Elam. I think he's going to be a bust too. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Is that too much? Just like he's either on the guy or he's off the guy. And if he's on the guy, he will get a penalty.
Yeah. The one penalty I will say that he got in the end zone was very, very borderline. Either way, whether it was a called penalty or not, it was a good penalty to take because he was catching that ball. He was going to catch that ball over him regardless. So some penalties are not bad penalties, but he's got to be in a better position to make a better play on that ball. And he can't put his hands on him when that ball is in the air there.
He's not even looking at the ball. Every time there's a flag. I mean, you could argue if he was looking for that ball, that's one thing, and the other player ran into him, then it'd be a offensive pass interference. But it wasn't. He wasn't even looking at the ball.
He's looking at the ball as it goes over his head sometimes.
Oh, that's different than turning around and playing the ball like you should be playing.
Worse. But yeah, I mean, they got to figure something out with him, because when I was saying about, players that are looking to be traded, I wouldn't be surprised if Bean is trying to put feelers out for him, because you can get something for him. Somebody will want to work with him on him. If they're really, Dane Jackson looks a hell of a lot better this year. I mean, if Elam's not the guy, he's not the guy. That's okay. Go out, get something for him. Maybe they can get an offensive tackle or a linebacker. Something that they need.
Yeah, I don't know who else would be willing. Outside of Jonathan Taylor, that wants to be on a team.
If you make a trade like that, you're not going to go to. You don't need Jonathan Taylor. We'd like to have him, but he's not an area of need. We need another offensive tackle. Need
not for 1 year for $10 million or $15 million, whatever he wants.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. Let's be realistic. We don't have two nickels to rub together.
I mean, I've heard the name thrown around a little bit this morning. Jason Peters. Old, but
I don't want a vet. I don't want an old vet. We look at remember last year preseason? Oh, we have all these offensive linemen from all these other places. And they were just complete not good because they got hurt after like 4 games, 5 games, 6 games. That's why we started getting beat up towards the end of the year, because our offensive linemen, who we were trying to rely on, were getting beat up left and right.
I get that. But right now, if either Deion Dawkins or Spencer Brown get injured, our backups for them are guys that swap positions like crazy. Not an actual tackle. Peters is an actual tackle. He's old, but if one of these guys go down, all we're doing is plug and playing kind of thing. That's not next man up. That's like, okay, I'm desperate. I'm going to put a guy in that plays guard that can also play tackle. Oh, by the way, he can also play center. I can just plug him in where that. That's great that he's versatile, but are they good at that position?
Okay, fair. That's a good argument, Neil. I think that's a good argument. So you're expecting Deion Dawkins to be hurt?
I'm not expecting. I hope that neither one of them get hurt.
I hope that never happens. He's got to play a little better. I hope he doesn't get cut.
The same thing with Spencer Brown. He's got to play a lot better.
Spencer Brown, I'm very disappointed with him. I honestly, we need to see Spencer Brown for like 3 quarters against the Bears this last preseason game.
Get his confidence up.
Then we really have to build his confidence up. Let him play some 4 stringers.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, oh, he's a starter though. Why would we let him play against 4 stringers?
Because he's
possibly
not
hurt
against 4 stringers.
Thank you, Neil. Because he's not. Let's call a spade a spade. He's not doing it.
His position's way off, and he's got Osiris next to him. He has a guard that's coming in and is ready to play. Like, this kid's ready to play.
Dude, if you rewatch both 2 games that he played, there's not a single person that is even going past the line of scrimmage.
No,
he's standing him straight up. Just that raw power. And then the Steelers, he was, double teaming JJ or whatever his name is.
They were triple teaming him at one point.
They were triple teaming, I know. But anyone else would get pushed back, but not Cyrus. This man was wearing like the 3-inch cleats because he was cemented into that ground.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need. We need those kind of players.
Well, absolutely. Week 1, we've got the Williams brothers coming in, so those guys are no joke.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough day for Josh if we can't get our shit together now.
Yep. Josh can't be playing hero ball every game. He just can't.
I mean, he can, but
Well, he
we don't
can,
want
but-
him playing hero ball when it's a
Every
17 week, but 16 games that he's gonna be playing this year. You don't want him playing hero ball outside of game 12, 13, 14, or 15, because that's going to you want to save it for the playoffs where it's lose and go home. That's where you want to see it at 100%, not 50%, because he's doing it all season long. Banged up, elbows bleeding. You want to see that again? I don't.
No, not at all.
Especially with our backup QBs. I mean, we're like, oh, Barkley's gonna take that, and then Barkley's 3 interceptions. Crap.
And a
He's
fumble.
like, I could do hero ball too, but you're not Josh Allen. Stop it.
I mean, our backup quarterbacks do really good against third and fourth stringers.
Hey, Josh is hurt. Can you put in your third stringers, please? Thank you. No,
They'll comply.
comply.
I mean, Kyle Allen looked a lot better against third and fourth stringers. Got to give him that.
All right. So here's the question. Let's get into the backup QB situation.
Ugh.
Did Matt Barkley game 1 look better against the third and fourth stringers versus Kyle Allen game 2 third and fourth stringers?
I mean,
Or vice versa. Who looked better? Because who's the question? Who looked better against third or fourth stringers?
I think Barkley looked better.
Barkley,
Yes,
just because of his
not by much.
obviously what he knew of the play calling or of the playbook.
Yes,
Right?
exactly. He knows the playbook a hell of a lot better, so he should be better.
Oh, here's an interesting comment from one of our viewers. Dan Triscari goes, we're deep with a good defensive edge. Why not see if we can trade one for inside linebacker? Take AJ
Not opposed to
Epinesa.
that.
Take AJ Epinesa.
We'll give you AJ and Shaq, and you give us TJ Watt. Okay. No, not gonna take that.
No, I don't think that would. And Kyrie Elam. Just take him too, please.
Take him too as well.
You get 3 players for 1.
They have a rookie GM. He's gonna want to make a splash, right?
Take a second. Because this is going to be McDermott's last year if he doesn't win a Super Bowl.
Mm.
I'm saying it, Neil. I'm saying
Y'all
it.
going to New Jersey for week 1? Hell no, am I going to New
no.
Jersey? What the hell?
Why would I go to New
I
Jersey?
can't break dance. I'm not going to New Jersey.
Yeah, no. I love my life. I'm not getting shot or robbed.
So Case Keenum is playing a third string role. Why not bring him back? Maybe he doesn't make the team.
They put him on the practice squad. Then we can pick him up. You'd have to get rid of Allen and Barkley, honestly.
Allen squared.
Because if Barkley goes back on a practice squad, he's going to get picked up somewhere else.
No, he's not. He was on the practice squad all year. They didn't get any calls, apparently.
He is Mr. Practice Squad.
He is Mr. Practice Squad, and he's damn good at it too. So
Is he like the Hall of Famer or practice squads?
might be. Yes.
Or does that still belong to Christian Wade?
Yeah, he might still belong to Christian Wade, but I think Barkley's a better cheerleader.
I don't want to hear this one, Gregory Harley. Get Nick Foles for backup. No, I do not want Nick Foles as a backup because every time he's a backup, the fucking
quarterback is hurt. Yeah.
The quarterback, number 1, QB1, always gets hurt. He's got like that Fitzpatrick curse, bro. Not going to happen. No, don't even talk about that one, man.
Bring back Peterson or Fromm. No, I'm good.
Oh, Bob Bradley. I'm going to call Butch Roll right now and tell him not to come up to the Bills Back Revolution just because you said that comment.
Go to timeout.
I'm calling him after this show, Bob, and saying, you're my friend, Bob, Butch. I know you got asked to go down to the Bills Backers of Volusia, but don't do it. He'll be like, okay. I'm just kidding, brother. I'm just kidding. I love you, dude. Oh, that'd be a fun trip to go to.
Yeah.
But all right, at the end of the day, so three sides of a coin. It's just preseason. It's just, there's things that we have to worry about. The second side of the coin, or there's that 1 in a million chance that it lands on its hind legs and it goes, you know what? It's a little bit of both. It's give and take. Give Jim Kelly a call.
I mean, I've heard people say we should go after Chad Kelly. I'm like, come on now.
These comments tonight are hilarious. Comments are always hilarious here on Breaking Tables, Cabrage. Come on, Captain Dave. Kaepernick is probably available. Oh, my God. Oh, right. Oh, let's, I'm not even going to go there because, actually, I don't give a shit if we get canceled or not. Definitely not Kaepernick. Okay. We're too blue collar for Kaepernick. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it.
He's not going to take a backup position anyways.
He's not even going to make a practice squad. He hasn't played for how many years now?
Yeah.
5-6 years. He's not playing. If that's the case, bring in Christian Wade. I said the same exact thing, Kaprosh. I said the same exact thing. Ryan Vandermark starting left tackle. I said the same thing. I think Van Dam. I'm going to call him Van Dam because we can't say Van Demark. Van Demark. Van Slyke. Van Slyke was starting left tackle.
That's scary.
Cam Newton. I'd rather take him over Kaepernick.
It's about Cam wrong, Mike. Put an S there.
That's right. He's from South Carolina, North Carolina. Give him a break. There's Dan goes, there's a saying, sooner or later, return players get tired of hearing the same crap from that coach. Are the players there with McDermott? Well, I mean, you could be like, what's that one liar? Oh yeah, Stephen A. Smith, who just, makes up shit or doesn't. I think that we've got a solid foundation, a solid coaching staff where they're not going to get tired of them because they can go somewhere else and have a shitty organization. Just, I don't think that's valid here.
Who's left on the market for linebacker? Greg? Not very much.
We just talked about, there was not very much.
There's not very much out there.
Dan Noy was probably the only person.
Yeah, he was probably the only person that's on there. So,
and don't forget, he got ran over by Josh Allen.
He did get run over by Josh Allen. John Lang is talking shit to somebody. Ready? Slow your roll.
Yeah, he's adequate, but you don't win the Super Bowl with adequate players, John. You just don't.
I mean,
so what?
I think when it comes to actual game, Dawkins we find. Shane Brown worries me, or Spencer Brown worries me.
The lesser of the two evils, Spencer Brown is not looking good.
No.
Game 1, game 2. Yes, it is preseason, folks. We are making up all of our Miss Cleo predicaments through preseason games.
Mm-hmm.
But game 1 of the NFL regular season, which, hold on, mind you, it usually takes about 4 or 5 regular season games to really get into the mold, right? I think that's why they're playing a lot longer than they are. But if they come out flat, I'm going for somebody's head. Take Kyer, take Spencer Brown, take all these people. Just take them. Give me somebody good. One offensive lineman that can just help Josh Allen. And let Josh do the rest.
This is what I said before, Bob, too. By the way, I'm not opposed to Jason Peters. We talked about that earlier, too. I'm not opposed to that even a little bit. Bring him in. Why not? Be a good backup. But the players getting cut from other teams, that's going to happen. I mean, we're going to be cutting players, too. So I'm sure that Bean is in his office right now calling 31 other GMs. So who is a guy that you are possibly looking to cut that we can make a deal for? And let's make a deal. Van Noy
Gregory
right
Harley.
now, right now he is. I would agree with that.
Gregory Harley goes, Van Noy is an upgrade at this point. You're not wrong. And to add to that, the reason why, because as Mike Ronk states out, Spencer Brown has not been the same since he got fined for drinking that beer. You are 100% spot on, Mike.
Yep.
Yeah, Peters, you're right. Peters he's a little older. John?
He's 41. He's fucking my age.
Just a little bit. But hey, I mean, you know, John
Rambo
was still beating up people. I mean, look at Rocky, what, 4, 5, 6?
37.
He beat up a younger Tommy gun. Remember that movie? Goes my
Wait,
age.
what? John, you had me until this. Not now, John, you got to go to timeout. Trade Gabe Davis next year. Come on now. I think Gabe becomes Gabe again this year. Mark me.
But if he does, he's going to want extra money. Then how are we going to afford him?
Make it happen.
All right, yeah. Make it happen.
Bino, make it happen.
Guys, a lot of good inferences. Thank you all for tuning in.
Greg.
Hit that like, hit that share button. We love all you guys. No, it's this year, John. It's this year. It's Super Bowl or bust for McDermott, at least. Bean is not going anywhere. He's a grand wizard, not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
McDermott has a stronghold of this team. Okay. No more Leslie Frazier. He is now the defensive coordinator on top of being a head coach. So there are no more excuses. There is absolutely no more excuses. And I'm not saying this out of spite because we lost preseason game 2. Folks, we're talking about preseason. Okay? I'd rather be talking about practice. Stop it. But there are no more excuses for how flat we fell on our faces last year. Especially, I mean, yes, we went through a lot of diversity last year. But this year is different. Okay? DeMar Hamlin, he's playing back to how DeMar Hamlin was playing. A solid number 2 backup safety.
Did he get like a roughing penalty?
I hope he did.
He got a penalty for I don't know what the hell it was for, but it was some penalty. But I was laughing my ass off. I'm like,
all right, good.
Even the announcers were like, yeah, I think he's back and ready to play.
But all you need is a couple seconds for either the man, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. I'm going to go ahead and say Kincaid's going to get more yards than Knox this year. Okay. And then you got James Cook. Got 4 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl era. Who do we have? Andre Reed, James Lofton, Tom Beebe, Thurman Thomas. 4 guys. So all you need is 4 suds to get back to Super Bowl. Just saying. I saw Big B tackle Thomas Smith Jr. Bring him back up. No, we just talked about complete bust of NFL history. He's the Mount Rushmore of complete bust. Thomas Smith is a turd. I asked him if he wanted to do a charity boxing event, and he still hasn't reached out to me. But that's another story for next episode of the feud between me and Thomas Smith. So, Neil, how about you bring us home, brother? Oh, wait, right. No, don't bring us home. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. One person we didn't talk about that had a pretty damn good game as well was what's his name? Shorter.
Justin Shorter. Yeah, man.
Yeah. He looked good again.
Good for him. Good for him.
I think there's a
I hope he makes a practice squad.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if you see him on the 53 man, just so you know. Throwing that out there. He's my like sleeper to make the
dark horse. Your dark horse 53er.
Yep. So what are your final thoughts?
My dark horse 53er is going to be Isabella, bro. I think Isabella, I don't if Isabella keeps playing the way he does more consistently, I don't see Shakir's got to do something absolutely crazy to make it over Isabella. Just saying. That's my final thoughts.
Yeah, and he had a good run back that got called back on a holding penalty.
That was the story of Sunday. If you could sum up, Saturday. If you could sum up Saturdays, it was Josh Allen, fucking 1,000,000-yard launch to Gabe Davis, penalty, interception, penalty.
I think the referees were trying to do their terrible towel impression with the flags, and they just kept throwing them.
We got to come up with something now. Go Bills. Tap and heel, bring us home, brother.
All right. Well, we are back again Mondays and Thursdays, 8 o'clock. Did you drum roll me in there?
Yeah, come on now, Tap and Neil. Who is Tap and Neil?
They either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now that is not real.
Tap and Neil's not real. Go on, Tap and Neil.
What's up? What's up, Izzy? Look at Izzy coming in on the show. What's up, man?
What's up, Izzy?
Oh, man. I was about to lead you into that too. By the way, Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith can go suck it. Sorry, Tap and Neil. Bring us home.
All right. We are back. Mondays, Thursdays, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Pull us up for wherever you listen.
Whoa, how about we start this all over again? And ladies and gentlemen, for our next guest, Tap and Neil.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Pull us up wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, whether you listen to it on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Pod, Google Pod. Pull us up, like us, share us, hit that subscribe button. Give us a like if you liked it. I know you liked it. Make sure you tell your aunts, uncles, neighbors. Don't tell your attorneys.
Don't do it because it's not worth it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, we don't want to get sued again. Do you, Neil?
No, we haven't been sued. We haven't gotten a cease and desist in a while.
Oh, and we didn't lose our Disney fucking contract.
I know. We
gotta lose it. Before we end the show, we got to lose it somehow. If you could lose a Disney contract one time, Neil, what would you say?
No, you specialize in that.
What? Say it, Neil. Lose us. I'm always losing the Disney contract.
I know. That's your specialty.
Oh my God. You know what? Maybe we'll just take this one on the chin and not lose our Disney contract. So we love every one of y'all. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys Thursday, 8 o'clock, to talk about preseason 3. I just can't believe it. There we go. I lost a Disney contract by doing that hand motion. We love you guys. We love all y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. Bye.
You beeped yourself there?
Neil, bye-bye.